Portman Road, and the Suffolk supporters expect that Ipswich will prove a point or two here against Everton, one of the richest clubs in the country. Well, Ipswich, with 9 full internationals here, have got the ability to win something big. Whether they've got the consistency and the luck, we'll just have to wait and see. This, though, is the perfect time to prove it after a terrible performance in the League Cup at Middlesbrough. What's going to be the reaction here? With George Burley back in defence after recurring ankle trouble. He's got a bit of a stomach bug at the moment, but he does make a tremendous difference down that right-hand side. Alan Brazil is also back after injury, so this means that it's a full-strength Ipswich side, the one which did so well in the second half of last season. Well, Everton have the money, the crowd potential, the tradition, but they can't seem to put it together. After struggling last season, manager Gordon Lee is giving youth a fling. Players like 18-year-old Steve McMahon, hardly wet behind his First Division ears, faces in midfield an aggressive Scot and 2 highly expressive Dutchmen. What are his chances? But Everton, or 6 of this side at least, showed that they do have a backbone when they knocked Ipswich out of the Cup last year. Bob Latchford, in dispute with the club for most of last season, set that victory in motion, and he's got the experience to test younger Ipswich defenders here. And the referee today is Mike Taylor, former Royal Marine. He comes from Kent, and he says conditions out there after a brief rainstorm are pretty well perfect. Well, among the spectators today, England manager Ron Greenwood to announce his squad for the World Cup qualifying game against Norway on September the 10th. So we're off, and it's Ipswich in the darker strip. The side who have picked up 5 points out of the first 6, smarting perhaps a little from last Tuesday's defeat, mindful that a bit of casualness against Everton in the Cup last season ended a dream or two. And the flag is up here for offside against the number 8 Eastoe over there. Playing up front with Bob Latchford, with McBride on this side. Into Gates. McMahon behind him. And Mariner slipped over, that's why the ball couldn't be dispatched that much quicker. Now the marking is pretty tight. Murin driven back, Butcher forward, but only to right. Oh, and Brazil's in on that one. Well, against Sunderland in the first game of the season, Everton apparently made 3 crucial mistakes in defence. Mills in here to Gates, McMahon behind him. Gates likes to turn people, but prevented there as Mills gets a bit of freedom. Up goes Walk. No, it's Mariner now. Mariner again. Tyson. Tyson once more. Driven wide and out. And Everton hang on by the skin of their teeth. Well, a couple of chances there to drive them in, blocked by legs and bodies, and there's Brazil, and he's got that one in. McDonough got his fingers to it, but it wasn't enough, and direction rather than power counted, and Brazil with the breakthrough. Well, a nice bit of play over on that far-hand side. Gates here able to get hold of it, turn it on to the far post, and not a very big fella, but a neat little jump, and the goalkeeper couldn't touch it far enough wide. 1-0. So a fine start then for Ipswich. Only 12 minutes gone, and the breakthrough already there as Mariner is looking to get past Lyons. And a volley, what a shot from Walk. John Walk really rifled that one past McDonough. No chance for him. A goal within 18 seconds of a restart. Absolutely magnificent. Real championship touch there, particularly from John Walk. It's his 4th goal of the season. That one will certainly be worth seeing again. It's pumped straight out to Mariner on his flank, straight in to Walk. It's a difficult height. He comes in like a steam train. Whack, the volley is almost shoulder high and beautifufully controlled. Asa Hartford looking for one forward to Latchford. it was Eastoe challenging, but the foul was given against Butcher. Free kick to Everton, who gained a little bit of possession in the last 5 minutes without actually enjoying it. The big fellas are up though. Right on this side of the penalty area, Lyons on the far side. Latchford obviously is there too. Wright gets in there, but it's Burley and Cooper. Burley taking it away well. Hartford has it, given away to Mills. In goes Brazil, but it's a challenge from McMahon that wins it for Eastoe. And Mariner ran into trouble. And Everton biting a good bit harder here as the rain continues to teem down. And that's a nice ball forward from Burley to Mariner. He's got Brazil over the far side and Gates supporting him. Mariner's shot. Only an inch or so wide, and it's significant that his colleagues are congratulating him for having a go, because he had the Everton defence in two minds. Should he go for a tackle? And while they were making up their minds, he drove in a very powerful shot just wide. McBride and Hartford, lovely play. Sitting Mariner on his pants. Great play by Hartford there. And they're looking a little bit sharper here, Everton. McBride, away by Mills. McMahon. Good drive. Oh, brilliant effort. And it rebounded off the post and hit Cooper. Oh, Steve McMahon so very, very close to his first league goal. Just shimmies inside Tyson. A powerful drive. Cooper hadn't got it. The post saves him, and then the rebound saved again. The play held up while Mariner gets some attention from physiotherapist Tommy Eggleston. Looks like a hand injury. Closing minute of the first half as Hartford knocks it out, but only to Burley, and Burley perhaps a bit lucky to get a second go. And there goes Burley forward here. Ratcliffe with him, Tyson behind him. In for Mariner. Gracious me, that would have been a great one. Stretching for the volley, could never get right over the top of it. But certainly goalkeeper Jim McDonald didn't see that as it whistled over his goal. Hartford looking for the neat one in for McBride, but the big lurking figure of Butcher was behind him. So that's another corner. We've had well over a minute of time added on in the first half, and Everton have had some near success from these corners. This time it's a short one, but the linesman doesn't like it. It's going to have to be retaken by Asa Hartford, with again Mick Lyons on the near post. Joe McBride is still quite close to Hartford, but he delays too long, and that's the end of the first half. So half-time score is 2-0 to Ipswich. It's rained throughout the first 45 minutes, but for Ipswich they've had a lot to smile about, because they had a superb purple patch of play in which Alan Brazil scored the first one for them after a cross by Mariner. Then Mariner crossed again for John Walk to power in a superb volley to give them that 2-0 lead. But then McMahon, this 18-year-old, hit the post and was a little bit unlucky, showed that the game isn't over yet, and Everton certainly have something to say before the next 45 minutes are finished. Welcome back to Portman Road. It's Ipswich leading by 2-0. Let's go immediately to the Ipswich manager, Bobby Robson. Bobby, what was your verdict of the first half?
Well, Jerry, I think to be perfectly fair and honest, we've had a bit of a touse in the last 20 minutes. I mean, we were 2 lovely goals, which put us in the driving seat, and we've really fallen asleep on that, simply because the midfield, and when I talk about the midfield, I'm talking about Muren, Walk and Tyson, coupled with Eric Gates, who's sort of playing from the midfield as a striker, but their 7 who is marking Gates is you know, once we lose the ball, he's disengaging from Eric and coming and playing and releasing 1 or 2 other players. And as a result, they are now controlling the midfield through Gidman, who's obviously adventurous, and the other 3 midfield players. And that is where the bulk of our trouble is, and has been for the last half hour of the match.
Mills getting away from Gary Stanley. He's got Brazil on the left-hand side and Muren just behind him. Tyson square. Butcher now. Mariner wants one forward into the space, and he's got it. And he's not offside. Mariner here. Oh, and wide. That surely would have been the goal that wrapped it up for Ipswich. Well, Mariner asked for this ball to be played forward. He got it. Everton had tons of time to play themselves into that offside trap. They didn't do it very well, and he had it looked pretty fair amount of time to knock it past the goalkeeper, which he did. And the man going on for Everton is Eamon O'Keefe, midfield player. Coming off is Gary Stanley. Eamon O'Keefe is £25,000 from non-league Mossley. He only had 3 games last season, so he's got a lot to learn at this level. Butcher's still up there. Muren against Hartford. Oh, and Hartford wins that one well. Now Ipswich are in a bit of trouble because they've got defenders committed into attacking positions here. Asa Hartford. Good shot, but the goalkeeper was well placed. He said, all right, here I am, beat me, and he couldn't. Well, Ipswich continued to back off there, and one wondered, had they done it too much? Because it left Asa Hartford with a chance to get a shot in, but there's the goalkeeper, he's well placed. There goes Burley forward, taking somebody with him, of course. Gates in for Walk. Here's Brazil. Room now for Muren to cross one. It's not a bad one either, as Mariner gets one back. Almost anyhow, and it's put out for a corner. Good competitive play there by Paul Mariner on the far post. But looking still for his first goal of the season. Muren's kick. Butcher again on the near post. Butcher. Touched in. Whistled into the back of the net. McDonough got a hand to it, but it wasn't enough. The big fella lurking dangerously on that near post. He got it, and that could finish it off. Muren's kick. Butcher the touch. And a head, not a hand, but a goal just the same. So Butcher makes it 3-0, his first goal of the season, the goal certainly that Ipswich Town wanted, and that must end at last the considerable resistance that Everton have put up. Well, naturally enough, Everton could lose a bit of heart here. Osman, nicely done. A controlled header to Tyson. Brazil going forward, but having to check back now. Neat play. And out there is Burley, but I don't think Alan Brazil fancied that one too much. But here's Mariner trying to get away from Lyons. Walker's gone up in the centre forward position. There goes Mills past him. In for Muren. Mariner here. Beautiful goal. A touch of class and quality about that one. Well, Mariner Mariner here says, OK, if you want it, come and get it, but I'm going for the old 1-2. And he gets a delightful through pass from Arnold Buren. Then the narrowest of angles, in goes his first goal of the season, and 4-0 for Ipswich. Offside again. And the game petering out here in a series of stoppages. Nice touch in by Mariner, but it wasn't enough. But certainly, as far as most of the spectators are concerned, 4-0 to Ipswich is enough.
Indeed, that's a victory that puts Ipswich at the top of the First Division tonight, with 7 points out of the first 8, and with 9 goals scored and only 2 conceded. Southampton and Aston Villa also with 7 points, and then Sunderland, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Tottenham and Arsenal all with 5. Well,